Hey guys, today I'm going to be picking out the 2 challenges I'm going to be doing for June. And I think for the first time since I started doing this jar, I'm not going to be doing a life update. Mainly because even though my family, basically me and my mom, are still in the hospital with my aunt, we're hoping that it's close to getting her out of the hospital, either by her getting better or the insurance just running out, whichever comes first. Honestly, well, I just said this wasn't gonna be a life update, but honestly, the doctors, nurses, and pretty much everybody in that hospital is moving things a lot faster than we would like. They're not taking things really slow, but at the same time, while they're rushing stuff, other stuff is being unnecessarily done. Like her lung doctor actually set her back by getting her used to ventilator settings on her BiPAP, or her Trilogy, that's supposed to be going home with us. So that set her back about 3 days because they had to get her first off the ventilator setting, then they had to get her on a CPAP, and now she's being slowly weaned off the CPAP. Well, by slowly, I mean it's supposed to be a 5-day process, but in this case it's a 3-day process because, like I said, they're rushing things. I kind of figured out that if we've been in that hospital since February 28th, that the insurance was supposed to run out this next Monday, which is March, today's 25th, 26th, March 27th. It doesn't look like my math was right on that, but it has to be close, or they would not actually be rushing to get us out of that, rushing to get her better, because up to this point we've been spinning tires, and everybody's like, well, why don't you just admit her, admit her for life. They have an entire floor of that hospital that is for, as a nursing home. So they wanted us to pretty much move her into that hospital, and it's just not happening unless it's just impossible for us to take her home with us, which I can tell you, the way things are right now, we're bringing a hospital home with us. We're bringing at least 2 machines, that one has to be hooked up to her at night so that it helps with her sleep apnea and helps her not build up CO2, and then she has this other machine that's just supposed to be for oxygen. But it's, I don't know, it's something that's supposed to have a pressure, so it's pushing oxygen into her. She's coming home with the trach, that's what it's going to be hooked to. It's a lot different than a normal oxygen machine. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how to describe it. And here I was saying this is not going to be a life update video when it turns into one. I'm sorry, but it's frustrating to the max, and honestly, I am mentally unstable at the moment, because I think I said in a recent update video that she was supposed to be unrestrained for 48 hours. Well, we thought that 48 hours was, Thursday night, Thursday we got in the machine, which was 3 or 4 days later than we expected to, and we had to take the restraints off as soon as it walked into the room, or she couldn't keep it. So she's back in restraints now since they set her back with the ventilator. But the day I was there, it was just me and my mom, and I fought her by myself for about 4 or 5 hours so my mom could get sleep. But I ended up staying up for like 40 hours without sleep. Well, obviously, that was without sleep, but I'm really in shock that I was able to stay up for 40 hours. I know that I woke up like at 2 o'clock that afternoon, or the afternoon before her restraints came off, and after fighting her pretty much all night, it was like 6 in the morning, Mom went to go get coffee, and I actually tried my first iced coffee, and let me tell you, it was disgusting. It could have been the fact that it was McDonald's and I didn't get the right thing. It tastes like I needed something sweeter. So I asked my sister, like, next time I have to stay up for like 20 plus hours, can you just like recommend a coffee for me? And she said caramel frappuccino or whatever. She recommended that, so I may try that next time. Point is, I hate regular coffee because it just tastes really disgusting. So I didn't think I'd like iced coffee, but that iced coffee actually kept me going until like 9 o'clock that night, and even then it was probably about midnight before I went to sleep. No, it was past midnight. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. All I know is I was like exhausted and I had been up way too long, and my mental state is paying for it. but I didn't have a choice. And I'm going back to the hospital in a couple days, and they're gonna take the restraints off again, and I'm gonna have to do this all over again, and I am not looking forward to it. Why don't we get to what I promised you guys I would do, and that's to choose my challenges. I'm sorry all these videos turn into life update videos. It's just, when I start talking about it, I get frustrated, and then I keep wanting to talk about it. And there's a lot of things I don't tell you guys. I may want to do like a Kindred hospital horror story or review. I think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do a review of this hospital once we get out of it, because I'm not going to do it beforehand, because that is just asking for them to do something to one of my family members, and I am not going to do that. My mom's they've already threatened to call security on my mom. I'm not. I will do this review after I get out of this hospital. Moving on though. So 2, that's 3. These 2. Hopefully I don't have to redraw. Okay, this horror book one I'm going to take out of the TBR jar just until we get back from the hospital for good, or at least for a few weeks, and I actually have the time to go get a horror book, or to sift through all my books and see which one's a horror book. I don't have time for that right now. The next one, what was that one? Pink or pale pink? It's pale pink, so I'll get another pale pink one out just to make up for that. Okay, and this one is an adaptation. Now, I left this one very open, so it can be something that's been adapted into a TV show, a movie, a manga series, or a graphic novel, or even a video game. If it's been adapted into anything, I'm allowed to read it. I'm not sure what I'm going to read yet, but there's been so many books that's been adapted here recently that there are a lot of options. The second one is a book from your least read genre. Okay, I need my reading journal for that one. Okay, so I do a genre tracker every year in my reading journal. I say that like I've done a lot of reading journals, but I've only been doing it for 2 years now. But this is what it looks like at this point in time. And from this so far, I have thriller, suspense, and horror that I've read no books in. And I've only read 1 book in contemporary. Like I said on horror, I'm not going to sift through all these books for that. Thriller, suspense, I think I have a couple that are actually locked in a trunk in my closet. They're adult books, and I want to read a thriller suspense from the young adult world. I don't really want to call young adult a genre, but in that grouping of books. Although I should probably read one an adult, because I've read no adult books this year, but that's not a big surprise either. But again, that's something that if there's none in my closet that I haven't already read, and I think I've read all of them. I'm pretty sure I have. The point is, I want to read books that are like TBR books. I don't want to read books I've already read. I don't want to reread books. That's why, even though I'm very, very stressed, I have not read Harry Potter or Percy Jackson, 2 of my favorite series that would de-stress me. I haven't done it because I want to get rid of some TBR books. And I've only read 2 books for sci-fi. But, I think since I've been actively avoiding contemporary books, I should probably just read a contemporary novel. I think I may actually have a couple of adult contemporary novels on my shelf by Colleen Hoover. I'm assuming they're either, I think one is new adult. They may actually both be new adult, but I would count them as adult books. So I've been avoiding Colleen Hoover like the plague too, so I may read one of those. I don't know. But it'll definitely, I think, be a contemporary novel. But hopefully the next round of videos I actually make, I won't be stressed out because we'll actually be home from the hospital and I can get my life back. I didn't have much of a life before, but I had more than I do now. And it's really made me appreciate the fact that I have a home to live in, because I'm so tired of living in a hospital on nothing but junk food. If you guys can tell, you guys have to be able to tell that I've gained weight over the last month or 2. And that's because I've been eating nothing but fast food and junk food. And that's the only thing you can eat in this hospital. And before you say eat cafeteria food, the cafeteria closes at like 1 o'clock and it's not open on the weekends. So the hospital is a piece of crap. But like I said, I'm going to review this hospital later on after we've gotten out of it. And until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!